Hello.
President Ramaphosa punted the work of the G20 under South Africa's theme of solidarity, equality and sustainability and addressed the non-attendance of President Trump at the November Leaders Summit.
In November, we hope to adopt a declaration that will deal with a variety of issues. Issues such as how we finance climate change, much as President Trump denying that there's climate change and damage. Many people around the world do believe that there is climate change and we need to address it. We will also be addressing the issue of the debt burden that many countries have, particularly countries in the global south, in Africa especially, that have huge debt burdens and are having to pay much more than countries in the north. So those are some of the issues that we will be addressing, and in many ways it's an exciting moment.
On the domestic front, Ramaphosa explained that South Africa had gone through 3 eras since the dawn of democracy.
When we developed greatly during President Mandela's time and President Mbeki's time, and then we faced decline during the presidency that followed thereafter, where we had what we call state capture, the capture of state institutions, and corruption was rife, and we're now dealing with all that. But in the course of all that mess that happened, a number of key companies, if you like, that are involved in the services, for instance, in electricity and water and logistics, were also captured and collapsed. So we're in the process of raising them from the floor, and we're making progress.
He also reflected on why the ANC lost its outright majority.
Our former president broke away and formed his own party, and he has a great following in one of the provinces. So that reduced our majority, and he had his own gripes, and he was largely also the person who led the government during the state capture era. And when he exited and formed his own party, many people voted for him, and he won a sizable vote. The second reason was the performance of our economy. We were then compelled to seek partners that we could work with. And we remembered very well what Nelson Mandela led us in and taught us, that it is possible to work with your opponents and even your enemies to advance the interests of the country. So when we lost power, we were the first as the ANC to say we have lost power and we respect the will of the people. And in doing so, we are going to be open to working with other parties, even those that were our opponents. We humbled ourselves to our people, and in the end, we formed, if you like, a coalition with 9 other parties.
Ramaphosa also spoke to South Africa's stance on the war in Gaza, its efforts at the International Court of Justice, its decision to downgrade Taiwan's representative office in the country, and on how South Africa was seeking to balance the impacts of President Trump's tariffs.
What President Trump did was a wake-up call for us. Not so much because we were not trading with other countries, but a wake-up call in saying that we need to upgrade our relations, our trade relations with many other countries in the world. We are a repository of critical natural resources that we want the world to buy from us, but also buy from us from a value-added point of view. And we're finding great reception for this notion of adding value so that we move away from exporting rock, stones and dust, just in raw minerals, but also in exporting finished goods.
On Wednesday, Ramaphosa is expected to have a number of bilateral engagements with US companies and address a trade and investment executive dialogue co-hosted by the US Chamber of Commerce. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.